Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone joining us this morning. I'm excited to show you some of the new things here that we have with version 10, as well as some of the core features that have really been able to help a lot of organizations with their help desk processes. There's kind of 3 different areas that I want to get into today, just briefly. I am going to do a quick overview. I'll just kind of mention that up front. If you want to go more in depth with the one-on-one with you or your team, we would be happy to do that. We often do one-on-one webinars just because we know that there's some specific questions or you want to look at specific things for your organization. And so just know that you're kind of getting this at a glance. I'm going to talk about some of the core things, but we would be happy to do one-on-one with you and your organization as well. I'm going to start off as an end user. Oftentimes that's where it starts as far as the help desk goes, is there's a question or a concern or a problem for the end user. And so I'm going to start there. Then I'm going to get in as just a tech, updating a ticket, prioritizing my day, some of the basic things that are there, and then maybe wrap it up more on the managerial side, as Amy mentioned, looking at some of our reporting, some of our dashboards, even some of our ticket templates, which can automate a lot of things that you're trying to do and make life a little bit easier for you. And so I'm going to start there as the end user. Now, just some basics before I log in here. This is a web-based system. It's web-based for you, for your end users, for your technicians. Being web-based, it's also mobile compatible. This is iPhones, Droids, Blackberries, iPads, iPod Touch, a Droid tablet. You would be able to access this, over a mobile device. As far as that goes, we understand that technicians are often on the go, and so why wouldn't your help desk be on the go as well? And so we wanted to make sure that that was available. I personally use an iPhone and an iPad, and I love the interface. Very easy. You don't lose functionality. Just simplifies it a little bit for you and your staff. Being web-based, there are a few avenues for getting help from the end user. Most commonly, you see phone calls and emails. More and more you're seeing a web form, and so I'm going to talk about all 3 of those today. I'm going to show you the web form. We've had great success with our customers in their end users using the web form. Really, at the end of the day, it's easy to use, and that goes a long way. The harder it is to use, the more resistance you seem to get from users, and so anytime we make upgrades or updates to the help desk, we keep that in mind because the easier that is to use, the more likely they are to use it. I'll also talk about phone and email. Just know that those avenues will be available as well, but I'm going to kind of start there. Now, being web-based, like I said, very easy to make this accessible to your end user, web link, shortcut, bookmark. We have some different options. We have some different environments probably out there today. For login ID and passwords, we're actually authenticating with your directory, whether that's Active Directory, eDirectory, or even like an open LDAP directory. Just know that you're not having to recreate login ID and passwords for all of your end users. We're simply just going to use your directory for that. Now, we also integrate with different email systems, Exchange, Outlook, GroupWise, Gmail. You might even have a different one than that, and we would be able to integrate there for email notifications, updates, things like that, which I'll get a little bit more in depth. But if I come in here as an end user, let's say that I have an issue, and I want to be able to come in here. Now, before I jump into creating a new ticket up here, you'll notice that I have a list of tickets. We've made some changes to the end user view. This is a version 10 brand new thing that we're doing. In the past, what this view was for is for the end user to be able to come in here and be able to see their tickets. It's a great place for them to come for status updates, view the public notes for this, be able to throw in a quick note to the technician as well. It's kind of like package tracking, right? You want to know where it's at without having to call or email anybody. You on the IT side, it helps you because it allows you to continue doing what you do without being slowed down maybe by simple questions that they would have access for. You'll notice I have an Owned by Me tab. These are tickets that I have submitted to the help desk. Now, if I come over here, you'll notice I have a location tab. This is new. What we've done is we've expanded the view of the end user. In the past, really it's restricted the end user to only being able to see their tickets. What we've come across, especially in education, there might be a few of you out there, is that oftentimes you want to make tickets visible to a principal, to a supervisor, to a secretary, at a location. And so what we allow you to do now is to create kind of what we call a super user. Without having to purchase a technician license for them, you now give them the ability to not only view the tickets they've submitted, but you can allow individual users to view other types of tickets. Now you can restrict it so that it's limited to what they can change, like, you know, it's a view-only ticket, or they can only change these 2 type of fields. You know, it's very restrictive as far as what you want to allow them to do. A lot of times it's just allowing them to view, managing their location, seeing what's going on there without having to give them or purchase a technician license for that individual. I hope that makes sense. Kind of some scenarios that we come across there are like a computer lab somewhere where you want to be able to allow, you know, the end users that maybe work in the computer lab to see what other tickets are in the computer lab that are there. And so, you know, there's some different scenarios as far as that goes, but it's been a pretty awesome change where, you know, in the past we've had to license individuals to allow them to see tickets that are you know, not their own. And so in this scenario, we've expanded that just a little bit. In a default, you know, area where maybe you have a teacher or a professor or maybe even any other type of end user, they would probably only see their own tickets. But there are a few out there that you could give additional rights to. You know, at the end of the day, I guess that's what I'm getting at there. Now, I'm a little long-winded, but I wanted to make sure that I explained that as far as being new for version 10. For this instance, I'm going to create a new ticket. We've made a little bit of a change here. We've actually started with the group. Now, if you notice, if I drop this down, I have 2 groups here. What we found is that organizations are often using different help desks within different departments. For example, information technology and maintenance facilities. We've actually have a lot of our customers that are now using this in like human resources, payroll, transportation, you know, different departments that want to track requests or want to track work orders. With our system, they can use the same system. Really the key being is that there's rights and securities that separate departments. You in IT, you won't see maintenance tickets, they won't see your tickets, you won't report on each other's tickets unless given rights to do so. In this scenario, we're just trying to create a central place for an end user to go for help, whether for heating and air conditioning or maybe for their computer. They come to one help desk and they can put in their request, and then we automatically route it to the correct department. Now, if you're only using this in IT, you'll bypass this page because there's only one group. They wouldn't have to come in here and choose their group. But once I choose like technology, now the form is specific to technology. All fields, all categories, all drop downs, these are going to be for information technology. If I were to choose maintenance, it would then come in and they would have their own set of fields as far as maintenance goes. You'll notice here that I have a drop down for location. We're actually auto-populating this now. These drop downs are configured by you, so don't be thrown off by what I have in here, but we can tie a user to a location automatically. It makes it a little bit easier for them. Now remember, I'm an end user and I'm filling this out. You'll notice that I have a lot of contact information that's pre-populated. This goes back to our directory integration, where we're pulling this information from your directory. I mentioned, let's make this easy. At the end of the day, why would we have them tell us who they are, what their email, what their phone is every time they fill this out, when really we know this information for the most part, and it's stored in our directory. And so because we've logged in, we're pulling this information automatically. You can have additional fields here. This is just a default. If you store additional information in your directory, you do have the ability to pull that in as well. Now, we do ask them to fill out a few simple drop downs here that you'll notice. I will mention this is a default, but you have the ability to hide fields from their view. Like right now, this is grayed out. They can't change a priority or a status. It's just showing them what it's going to go in as default. You can remove this from their view as well, where they don't even see that. It's very customizable. It's like a checkbox where, you know, I want these fields to show and I don't want these fields to show, that sort of thing. But when I come in here to category, you'll notice here that I'm looking at specific types of IT issues. Once again, don't be thrown off by what I have in these drop-downs. You have the ability to put whatever you'd like here. It would literally take you seconds to come in and build categories, category options, really any drop-down that you see. But if I choose email and I come in here, let's say to like a login password, we can narrow down kind of what we're seeing. No longer are we getting emails that just say, hey, I need some help, right? We can maybe get a good idea of what the problem is. We can even route an assignment based off of a type of issue. You can even route based off of a location as well, but you can send things to individuals based on the type of problem that comes in. Probably most common is to send it to what we call a ticket pool, where you can dispatch from, or you can have your technicians pull from. There's just a lot of options, but just know that we do have the ability to come in here and route. And you'll notice it looks like a drop down. It is not. The user cannot change or pick their favorite person to send this to when you route. I believe you can also remove this from their view if you wanted, to where they can't even see it. It's kind of up to you. If I come back in here and I choose, I think it's printer, you'll notice that I have some additional fields that populated. These are examples of custom fields where you can actually come in here and you can add your own fields to this form. That's also what this is. It probably doesn't make much sense to you, and I apologize. I was playing around with this a little bit earlier. But a lot of times you have additional questions for the user that you want to ask them. Instead of playing phone tag, why not just take 3 seconds, create a field in the form, and then every time a printer issue comes in, does it have power? Are there lights blinking? Is it a paper jam? You can get some additional information from the user right there. Really, what I really want to drive home is that these fields are customizable. You can remove certain ones from their view where it really doesn't pertain, to information that maybe you as an organization feel they need to fill out, but another organization feels that it might need to be filled out. And so, very easy to customize the look of this. Subject notes, I can attach a file if I wanted right from here. Now, if I save this ticket, 2 things happen. An email goes back to me automatically as the end user with a confirmation and a ticket number, and we have the ability to send an email to the person that this is assigned to, letting them know that they have a new ticket in their queue. Just kind of an FYI, you can turn emails off if you wanted to. I would suggest, yes, sending it to the end user as a confirmation, but if your technicians are in the help desk all day anyway, maybe you turn theirs off, because they're going to be seeing those new tickets come in as they're in their queues. All right, I'm going to move on from here. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot that over to Amy via the chat, and then I can cover anything here at the end, but I'd be happy to answer it. We do have a knowledge base option. I'm not going to spend much time there. You'll even notice that I can access it from without even having to log in. The knowledge base, really there's 2 sides to it, public and private. Public is if you want to throw your top 10, top 15 frequently asked questions out there to them. They can do a little search if you wanted. You could do that. How do I set up my voicemail? How do I put paper in the printer? Whatever it might be. The old ID10T error, message. You can throw a little information out for that. The private articles, these are detailed resolution, sensitive documentation that you don't want user seeing or attempting, but you want to make available to your IT staff. You mark them as private. Only those with IT technician or manager rights would be able to view those articles when searching. Once again, it's web-based. You're out on site, you want to access an article, you could pull it up from really wherever you are. Just as a note, you can create articles from scratch. You can take closed tickets and move them in as a knowledge-based article, so you have some different options as far as that. All right, let me come in here. I'm going to go in as manager with manager rights, but this is very much what a technician will see and view. Real quick, phone and emails. I'm not going to spend much time here. We've kind of already gone through this ticket, but if I receive a phone call, I have the ability to fill this out for an individual. For instance, I can come in here, let's say that I have Shay on the phone. I choose Shay's name. It autofills this information. You'll notice location was auto-populated. I would then come in and fill this out, very much the same. But just know that you do have the ability, obviously, via a mobile device, or maybe you have someone on the phone, you can quickly fill this out for an individual. Emails, we have a feature called Email to Ticket, where we can actually monitor an email account for you, and anytime an end user emails that account, we take that email and make it a ticket. A lot of you probably already have an email account, a generic one that they're sending it to, and so instead of copy and pasting emails all day into tickets, we automatically will put it into a queue for you. Subject to their email would be here, note of their email is here, attachments are brought over into the ticket right here. We know who they are based off their email address, so it'll pull all their other information. Really the only thing we won't fill out is category and category option. It is a little bit more generic, but we just don't know what those fields are. Based off of the note field here, or the subject, maybe you as the tech would have to determine what that was. But once again, save some time, no copy and paste, no building from scratch. We're automating that for you. All right, if I come in as a tech, I have some different tabs here. This is actually a managerial view, but if I'm a tech, this is probably what I'm going to see. I'm going to see my assignments. I come in here, I see what's been assigned to me. I may be a member of a ticket pool or a team queue. I can see what's going on within the team queue. The Information Technology tab, this is a managerial view that you can give text or you can take away from text, but this allows you to see what everyone within the department is doing. And so just because we're auto-routing assignments to individuals, please note that you as a manager would still have the ability to see those tickets, look at the updates of those tickets, whatever you wanted to do. We're just taking away a step where you're having to automatically route, if you don't want to. All right. Quickly, I'll open up an existing ticket. Let's say I'm a technician. I come in here. I have some, basic information, created, modified. I have a work time at the top there. We can track time in two ways. Created, modified to closed is one, right? The ticket was open for 2 weeks. Kind of makes sense. But we can also track a hands-on time. Yeah, it was open for 2 weeks, but we waited a week and a half for a part to come in. You could manually update this. You could even come in here and start and stop, and you can have it count for you. Just some options. A lot of departments are now billing out certain things, and so we needed to add a way where we could put in an actual time where you could run reports on that. PDF, that's just if I wanted to print this off. Here's my basic information that we've kind of already looked at. You'll notice history. Anytime we make changes or updates to our ticket, we do create a little bit of an audit trail. We tell you the day, the time, and then who made the update, and obviously what that update was. We can take a look at it right here. If I want to make an update, I could simply come here to add comment, and I could put in a note, part is on order, will be in on Friday. Okay, you could obviously be more detailed, throw in links, attachments. Really what I want to show is this. Anytime we make a change or update to the ticket, we do send out a notification if we want. The idea here in sending the email notification to the user is to increase customer satisfaction without decreasing productivity. By sending them the updates, they're going to feel like they know what's going on. They're not going to get frustrated. And in the same sense, you're not having to write separate emails or make separate phone calls, slowing your day down. We can simply just do it throughout the process. A lot of help desks only allow you to notify when something's created or when something's closed. And we've allowed you to do that really within any step of the process as well. Something I will mention, we embed the ticket number in the subject line of the email that's sent to the user. So if they hit reply to the email, their reply will actually come back, look up ticket 153, stamp in the history, and send it via email to the technician. If you, the tech, need to ask a quick question back to the user, you hit reply to the email, guess what? Your reply comes back to the ticket, stamps in the history, sends on to the user as well. So we're capturing that information within this ticket also. All right. I think I'm going to kind of move away from here briefly. I won't get in depth. If you would like a one-on-one, we could get more in depth, I'd be happy to. Assets. We do track assets. Kind of two different reasons we do it within a help desk software. Number one, we track information. Locations, users, model numbers, serial numbers, types. I mean, there's a ton of different things you can filter on assets. Show me all my laptops that we've loaned out. Who are they assigned to? What location are they in? How long have they had them? PO purchasing information we can track as well, where we can take a look at PO numbers, lease information, warranty dates, values. You could filter on any of that. Show me all PCs, the warranties up in the next 3 months. We need to go check some things, see if they need to be serviced. We do have a remote control option with this help desk as well, where you could do a remote control session right from the ticket. It would actually have a little remote button right next to the hyperlink where you could remote in. It comes with the help desk. It's not something that you have to purchase on the side. Our staff would help you set it up. The second reason that we do it, and probably the most important, is that we tie tickets to assets. where we can actually kind of have like a Carfax history report where you can see all the tickets ever associated to this asset. From a tech view, I think it's important because you can go in and say, show me my top 10, my top 20 problem assets, where maybe from a, you want to see if it's, I guess that's more of a managerial view, where you want to see your top 10, top 20 problem assets. A tech view is more or less, has this asset ever had this problem in the past? And if so, how was it resolved? They could get a quick glance at it right from there. All right, I hope that makes sense. Let us know if you have additional questions there. I'm going to kind of move away from the ticket itself. Obviously, if I want to make any changes like completing it, it's just coming in to the drop-down. Once again, every drop-down you see is configured and custom by you. You'll notice that I have something here called sub-tickets. This is getting a little bit outside of HelpDesk. What sub-tickets are a little bit of project management. You probably might be familiar with the term parent-child ticketing within a HelpDesk. What this is a parent ticket is kind of like a project, and oftentimes with projects or tasks, you have all these different assignments that need to be made. And this allows us to come in here and say, you know what, we're going to actually have Kyle take care. Please do this. Obviously, you're going to be more detailed. I just don't want to spend time typing here. But you can come in here and give them a separate assignment that deals with a bigger picture or a project that you have. And so I come in here, I save it, I've assigned that to Kyle. I come back here to the ticket, and you'll notice I've now added this. And you can have some additional information that's stored here, who's it assigned to. I just have it pretty basic here within 10. I haven't played around too much with it. But the key is that you're not out there looking for 5 or 6 tickets to see what's going on with your project. We're actually in here looking at those individual tickets from one ticket. And we can actually automate these child tickets as well, and I'll kind of explain what I mean by that here in just a second. There's 2 other areas that I'm going to cover, reports as well as templates. And I'll kind of start with ticket templates. There's 3 types of templates that you can build and use within the HelpDesk. Let me see if I might not have a quick ticket. One of them is called a quick ticket. A quick ticket, and I won't really get into it. It's kind of a template. I guess I should back up. A template is a pre-populated ticket. A quick ticket is like your top 10 frequent calls that come in. Oftentimes, you guys get calls every day that are common. It would take you longer to fill out a ticket than to solve the problem. Our goal is for you to document everything you do. So what you could do is you could actually come in here, and I'm just going to choose one of my templates here. We'll just do a test one. Pretend like it's a login password. And so what you would be able to do is you can come in here and you can have it defaulted to the group. I just haven't come in and set it up. I apologize. But you can have all of this pre-populated, and all you have to do is come in and hit launch. And this will go into the system, and probably in a case like that as closed, where it's it's a common email, reset username and password. It just goes into the system as a completed issue. It's just, instead of creating tickets from scratch, it allows you to come in and just say, I did this, I took care of this, or maybe it's even a queue that needs to be hit. You can easily document it. I hope that makes sense. Now, the other 2 types are a little bit outside of HelpDesk, and what I mean by that is we realize you don't just help people all day. You have a lot of things you do that are outside of helping, upgrades, updates, tasks, projects, and oftentimes those things go undocumented as well. But if I come in here like server update, this is an example. I'm going to go into edit mode, but this is an example of a reoccurring ticket. And so what you can do is you can come in here and you can say, hey, I need you to do this task once a month. And so you build the template or the ticket and you say, on the first day of every month, or maybe on the 15th, or any day you want, I want this ticket created and sent to the appropriate individual to do. Number 1, great reminder. Number 2, you're documenting it. Dear Mr. President or dear Mr. Superintendent, here's how much time we spend helping people. Here's how much time we spend maintaining, upgrading technology, within the organization. And so you can see that. Maintenance departments love this for preventative stuff. Checking filters once a month, once a week, things like that. Any time frames you want. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it might be. It's just really going to automate some of your everyday things that you do as well as document it. You probably noticed the workflow tab here. If I come back, let's say you have a project or a process like new hire. Okay, if I come in here to edit mode, What it allows you to do, it allows you to take those child tickets or those sub-tickets and you can put them into a step-by-step workflow. Meaning, step one, we set up a workstation for the user, right? Step two, maybe we come in, a workstation more likely is going to be like a desk, some electrical stuff, maybe maintenance is even take care of that. Well, step two, we're going to come in here and we're only going to launch 2 of the tasks. Put in a computer, put in a phone. Once we launch 3, then maybe once those are completed, maybe then we come in here and we go get their passwords, their email, and everything like that put in. Step 4, we train them. Step 5, we have an approval maybe that has come through. You can have more than 5 steps or 6 steps, whatever it might be. You can drag and drop these in any order that you want. It's very nice. Really, the idea is how many times have you shown up with a computer or a phone and there's no desk, right? There's a lack of communication. You've wasted a little bit of time. This really allows you to come in and say, okay, we're ready for you. And when they're ready for you, then we assign the ticket automatically to the individual to take care of. Just as a side note, we do have a tool called the scheduler. I'm not going to show it to you today, but it's great for like monitoring the aging of tickets for like auto escalation. If the desk is taking too long to put in, we're going to start escalating it automatically. After 2 days, we're going to move it to high. We're going to notify their manager, notify the tech, kind of let them know what's going on. And that's just one of those automated tools as well. All right, I hope I'm making sense there. With reports, there's 2 types you can do. You can come in and you can do a basic filter where you can say, you know what, I only want to see, let's say, hardware issues, right? So I come in, I'm only looking at hardware for, and you can see there's really a lot of different options you have. For a certain location or for a couple of locations, it equals headquarters, and just to show multiple selections, central office. I can come in here and I can put these in any order that I want. Maybe I want to see assignment a little higher, as far as my data report goes. I can even add fields. I want to see contact. So I hit the plus sign. I've now added contact. Even custom fields you could come in here and you could add as well. So really you can filter and search on anything that you want. Then as you apply the filter, it shows you a pretty basic data report that you have. You can name it and you can even save that filter. Now you could come here to the list of filters and you could run it at any time that you wanted. Now one of the coolest things I think you can do from here is that you can actually make one of those filters a tab on your home screen. A lot of times you guys have custom views that you like. Show me high priorities in one tab, or everything I've assigned out that has not been updated after 3 days, put it in a tab. And all it is coming here to custom tabs, saying add tab. This takes me to my filters that I've created, and then you could go ahead and high priority tickets. I save that, I come back here. I'm not even sure what I have in here. I haven't played much with this, but now I have a tab here that shows me all the high priority tickets for my department. I might have not filtered that right. It might be for multiple departments because I have rights to it for my demo, but I think you get the idea. You can create these custom views from here. And lastly, the graphs, they're a little bit more robust, which is nice, where we can do drill downs. For instance, I think this is a trending by type of problem. So I come in here and I want to see what types of problems we're seeing. This is an HTML format. You can do this in PDF, Excel, CSV. But let's say I have 17 email issues. I drill down. Well, what types of email issues? A lot of address book stuff. I drill down, takes me to the individual tickets. I can even open the ticket from the report. I don't have to go back and forth looking for this. Maybe this isn't an address book problem. Maybe this is a John Stockton problem, right? So you can kind of see that information from here. You can do this in, I think this one's in PDF, a little pie chart there. And you could even do drill downs from here as well, get more in depth, just as if it were HTML. So you have some different options. If I jump into edit mode, you'll remember that I chose category, right? I broke this down by type. You have other options. I want to see this by location, by technician, right? You want to see what your technicians are up to, statuses, priorities. You can even drill down again. Once you drill down again, what do you want to see? And so it's very flexible and very customizable as far as how you want to break down that graph. You can do pie charts and bar charts, some different options. Here's my formats, PDF, HTML, Excel, CSV. You'll even notice here, run this on a schedule. If I check this box, this allows you to automate it. It's pretty cool. I want this sent to me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Email this to this person as well, and you can send it off. Instead of going in and running reports, when you need them, we can just automate it, send it to you. All right. I've kind of gone through, like I said, a basic overview. If any of you would like to go one-on-one or maybe have some other questions with pricing information, please feel free to let us know. I'm going to turn the time back over to Amy and for any questions that you have. Amy, if you wouldn't mind, maybe put up my email address again. So if any of you do have specific questions, write down my email address and feel free to shoot me off an email. I can give you a call back. Whatever it might be convenient for you to answer a question specifically, or if you'd like some more information on cost or anything like that. But Amy, go ahead. You can take the ball back from me, and then I'll answer any questions that are out there.
Okay, just again, if you have any questions, feel free to put those through on the chat or the Q&A. And here on the screen, you'll see Gus's email, as he had just mentioned. Gus, I haven't seen any questions yet so far. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming through at this point. Gus, did you have anything else?
Real quick, I forgot to touch on dashboards. I won't go in depth there, but for those of you that are interested in dashboards, what you can do is you can take up to 4 of your saved reports and put them in a dashboard view. You can have multiple dashboards, just for space reasons, we kind of limit it to 4. But dashboards are great in that they update every 10 seconds, and so if you just wanted to pop open a dashboard and throughout the day take a glance at it, it's great for volume and aging reports, I think. How many tickets do we have? Where are they at? What types are they? Who are they assigned to? Or how old are tickets getting, right? Show me tickets that are getting too old, and you can just get a quick glance at it instead of trying to go in and run those manually, throughout the day. It looks like we do have a question there, Amy. It says, can users close tickets? No, the user does not have the ability to close a ticket. A lot of reasons that we don't allow that, more security than anything. With the ACL, Amy, you might be able to correct me. I believe that they still can't change a status as far as a user goes. You can allow them to view the status, they just can't change the status. And so yeah, no, the user will never be able to close a ticket. They can add a note and say they resolved it, but it would still require you to go in and close it. Scott has a question, can I show the Dcm integration? Scott, I don't have it connected to this demo database. Let me see if I can get it connected, and then Scott, if you're interested, we could take 15 minutes and I could show you the Dcm integration that we do have. Really what it would do is that instead of linking to an internal asset, it would link to your assets within Zen. So when you click the hyperlink there within the ticket, it would take you into Zen and show you anything that you store on that asset within Zen. You're able to do remote control sessions from the ticket as well. But Scott, let me see if I can get this connected to Dcm, and then I'd be happy to maybe take some time here this week or even next week and show it to you.
So Gus, I did see another couple of questions come through. First of all, what is the price based on? Desktop, users, etc.?
The price is based off of technician and manager rights. And so anyone from your IT staff that would need to go in as a technician or a manager to update tickets, close tickets, run reports, they would need to be licensed. It's unlimited end users as far as licensing goes for them, and it's free. There's no cost to that. So kind of what we say is your IT staff, people on your IT team that would need access to this.
Okay, perfect. The next question, do you have a server-based option and a web-based option?
What it is there's on-premise and cloud. On-premise is something that goes on your server. You can still push it out over the web to your users. It's not a client-based option. You don't have to go out to every computer and put it onto the computer. You can allow them to access it. We used Apache Tomcat for the web server, so it's free. And so yes, there is a server option, and then there's a cloud or web option where we host it on our side, and you're not having to install anything. You're just accessing it from our servers. I think there's another question here. It says, in the past, changing from one group to a different group would lose ticket information. Can you change groups without losing information? With this question, the way that we changed it a little bit is that if you change the group, a lot of times there's fields that are different. Like if you move from IT to maintenance, the maintenance categories and category options are not the same as IT. And so if they don't match, then yes, you will lose that information. Maintenance would have to go in and classify what those categories and category options are. But other information such as locations, priorities, statuses, those would all stay. All history would stay, notes, subjects, they would stay. It's just going to be your category option that you would have to change over, just because in most cases, because IT and maintenance are different departments, they don't match.
Okay, I am seeing a couple other questions here also, Gus. First of all, is the web-based option also based on number of technician licenses?
Yes, it's a different type of model, but the pricing is structured in that it's more of a subscription model because it's something we host, but it's still going to be based off of your tech and your managers that need to be licensed. It's unlimited, end users can access it. If you want more information on that, I'd be happy to talk to you separately. Only in that this is a public webinar, and we have pricing for schools, pricing for non-profit government accounts. It's a little bit different, and so, but yeah, it's still based off of techs and managers.
Okay, and then the last question I'm seeing right now, could you elaborate on the remote control feature?
Really, the remote control, we do it through a VNC port. Our staff will help you do the VNC if you wanted to be able to go in and remote. Really, the information that I would have on that is, number one, it's done through a VNC port. Number two, within the ticket itself, you would have a little remote control. So if you click the button, it would remote control into that asset. It would also create a history note within the ticket, letting you know that a remote session was made by who, and then day and time. If you have specific questions about the remote control, please email me, and then I can get with my support staff. I just don't want to tell you something that's really technical if I don't understand it, and so I don't want to mislead anyone. So if you do have a specific question about what it can and can't do or what you want it to do, shoot me over an email, and I'll get with our support staff just to clarify.